It's almost unavoidable. Like I said, morning, night, just something I'm seeing every day.
The convenience of public transit is being scarred by rampant drug use.
So the drug use that I've been seeing over, it's just gotten worse and worse.
With growing safety concerns, RTD is making security changes at Union Station.
As we go forward, we're going to ensure that we're doing this with heavy compassion.
Warmer weather is creating unsteady conditions in the high country and leaving drivers to dig out.
A symbolic move to protect reproductive rights in Colorado.
This is a historic moment for Colorado. We have led in the past, and we're now the first state in the country to send a bill to the governor's desk.
Plus, in the market for a new car, rising interest rates can have you second-guessing a purchase. Thank you for joining us tonight at 6. I'm Jessica Porter.
Good evening, I'm Ann Trujillo, and it's no secret the bus terminal and platform at Denver's Union Station has turned into a haven for those experiencing homelessness and addiction. Now, for travelers and visitors, it is no haven.
Police have stepped up patrols. Community members have tried to clean up the area. Now RTD is addressing these issues directly.
Denver 7's Brian Wang is joining us live from Union Station. And Brian, RTD developed a plan to try to keep everyone safe.
Yeah, that's right. And they made it very clear that they want to implement these plans sooner rather than later because of how out of control things have been getting around here.
I'm just a lot more alert these days.
And for good reason, especially in and around Union Station's bus terminal.
It's almost unavoidable. Like I said, morning, night, just something I'm seeing every day.
Ben Dobler is talking about the everyday drug use he sees while commuting to work using the E-Line train that departs from Union Station. This morning, he stood out as a passenger.
I got off my train this morning, literally because everybody on my car was using drugs. 5 to 6 people when I decided to get off the train. I was the only one that wasn't. Yes.
On Saturday night, it wasn't drugs people were staying clear of. It was a shooting inside the bus terminal that sent one man to the hospital. Just 2 days later, a local news photographer was attacked at the terminal by a man who struck him in the head and threatened to kill him. RTD officials had these incidents and many more in mind at their Tuesday meeting.
It's something that I'm committed to trying to do the best that I can to try and ensure that we're providing an environment where our employees or our customers don't have to look over their shoulders.
In the next 6 months, RTD aims to eliminate electrical outlets where some transients have been charging their phones, install better lighting, and broadcast audio announcements with public safety info. Within the next 6 to 12 months, RTD will install TV monitors with security camera feeds at entrances to deter crime. But the most impactful step won't happen until at least a year from now.
Paid fare areas will be implemented.
Those areas will have several turnstile gates, which will be installed at the historic Union Station building and the pavilion entrances on Wewata and Chestnut.
That only those individuals who present appropriate fare will have access to the bus concourse.
And many people believe that this plan is just a small portion of a very large solution that needs to be discussed, considering that there's been more than 1,000 arrests right here in this area over the last 6 months with more than 20 firearms seized. We're live in downtown. Bayan Wang, Denver 7.
Both neighbors and passengers want change in that area. Thank you, Bayan. And tomorrow morning, RTD's CEO will hold a press conference to outline this plan and provide a timeline of how and when it'll be implemented. We'll be sure to have a crew there bringing you any new information.
A state bill to protect women's reproductive rights is now headed to Governor Polis's desk for signature. The Senate passed the Reproductive Health Equity Act by a 20 to 15 vote today, and this bill is in response to anti-abortion bills being passed nationwide and Roe v. Wade potentially being overturned this summer.
Anybody who has ever been pregnant knows that days and weeks when you're trying to seek reproductive health care can be critically important. So it was really crucial for us to act quickly.
And it is important to note here, this is a statutory change, meaning that if Republicans take over the legislature in the future, then they can undo this. Governor Polis is expected to sign the bill, which would go into effect right away.
Avalanche conditions remain unsettled in the high country because of a weak layer in the snow pack. Today, 2 avalanches were triggered within about an hour of each other. One was on Berthoud Pass. Grand County search and rescue crews shared this picture of the impacted area. There was a fear that there might be 2 people buried in this slide. Grand County rescue crews were able to confirm no one got caught. And then about an hour earlier on Loveland Pass, a small avalanche occurred, crashing into a truck driving over the pass. Thankfully, no one was hurt. Loveland Pass reopened to traffic about 2 hours ago. The Colorado Avalanche Information Center says natural slides can be more likely as we see warmer temperatures within the new snow built on top of unstable snowpack.
Madeleine Albright, who was the first female Secretary of State, passed away today from cancer. Albright was chosen as the country's top diplomat in 1996 under President Clinton. Albright also has a deep connection to Colorado. Her family fled Czechoslovakia. She grew up here in Denver, graduating from Kent Denver in Cherry Hills Village. And there she founded the school's International Relations Club and was its first president. And her father, Joseph Corbell, was a professor at DU and eventually became Dean of the School of International Relations. It would be named in his honor in 2008. Now, Albright delivered DU's commencement speech in 2016, and we spoke to Fritz Mayer, who's Dean at the Corbell School of International Studies, and he shared what lessons students can take from Albright's legacy.
I think, importantly, the idea that you can, she embodied the American dream, really. I mean, anybody can rise to the top. This is the daughter of an immigrant who came to this country as a young girl and rose to the highest position she could have held in this country. An extraordinary inspiration that way, I think, to all people, obviously to women as a path breaker.
During her time, Albright reinforced U.S. alliances in NATO, advocated democracy and human rights, and promoted U.S. trade and business, labor, and environmental standards. Madeleine Albright was 84.
What a huge impact. Well, the Federal Reserve is increasing interest rates for the first time since 2018. It's an attempt to stop inflation, but it also means the cost of borrowing increases. So everything from credit cards, private student loans, even car financing will be impacted. Denver 7's Ivan Rodriguez spoke with experts in the car industry on what shoppers can expect.
Coloradans are already feeling the squeeze of higher prices at gas pumps and grocery stores. Now the car industry could be impacted, making it more expensive for people to buy a car.
The basic economics is that the higher interest rate will make the automotive finance higher, more expensive for the consumer.
Last week, the Federal Reserve raised its benchmark interest rate a quarter point with the goal of pulling the reins of inflation. But for the new car market, Tim Jackson with the Colorado Automobile Dealers Association says the price difference shouldn't be dramatic.
We've heard anywhere from $1 to $3 a month. That really depends on the price of the car.
And because of the high demand for new cars, but little inventory, it could take months for an interest rate hike to catch up.
It's going to take a while for that interest rate increase to really level out the other problems, so they may meet in the middle.
Although right now a small increase in rates might not have a big impact on your monthly payment, some used car lots are having a different problem, getting customers on the lot.
Thank you for calling my auto sales.
Brooks Zambada says the true impact of the rate increase will be on people strapped for cash who don't have enough for a down payment to lessen the overall cost of the loan.
The rate increase challenges the low income, the low credit score section of the population that moves them toward a subprime lender.
And it's with subprime lenders, people could end up paying up to 21% interest to finance a car.
I understand the Fed trying to keep from people buying things. But when it comes to a car, it's essential. Your day-to-day, you need to get to work.
The Fed has signaled up to 6 additional increases this year. Until then, the higher prices being felt now could have a greater effect than the first rate increase. Ivan Rodriguez, Denver 7.
Another impact on families, and you'll also see the impact from the interest rate hike on your credit card balance. Experts say the increase will mean higher APRs and longer debt payoff periods for card holders. Right now, the average credit card APR is around 16%. More rate increases this year could push that average rate to over 18%.
Denver's Pride Parade is returning this summer in person for the first time since the start of the pandemic. The Pride Parade is annually one of the largest in the West, drawing 500,000 people to downtown Denver. The Center on Colfax is the organizer of the parade each year, and this year the Pride Parade will take place over the span of 2 days on June 25th and 26th. And once again, Denver 7 is a proud sponsor of Denver Pride.
Metro residents are foreclosed on for being behind on HOA fees.
I'm shocked. I didn't know that an HOA could do that.
A new bill would provide some leniency before taking someone's home.
It is inherently evil to take somebody's home because of a fine.
A nice breezy evening here across the Front Range as we head through the rest of the night, but a huge warm up headed our way. I'll let you know how hot it's going to get.